Happy Sunday. I'm Christine and this is Christine Sews a Lot. Today I'm doing a catch up of what I've sewn this week and a little bit of a fabric haul. I forgot to mention that today I'm wearing the Tilly and the Buttons Tabitha t-shirt dress. Now the more I wear this, the more I firmly believe this is not the pattern for me. There's so many things that I don't like about this dress, or I should say I don't love about this dress, that it's not worth taking it apart and redoing. I'll still get wear out of it. I'll wear it to the pool. I'll wear it around the house. You still may see it on YouTube because I tend to film in whatever I happen to be wearing at the moment. And yeah, this is just not the dress for me, but it is a me made. I am gonna practice doing some cover stitch on it since it's not overly precious and I do need to practice, so I might as well do it on this Tabitha t-shirt dress. I completed 2 items. What did I make this week? The first item I completed this week, I absolutely love. I made the River Curve dress by Megan Nielsen, and I'll insert a photo here of the line drawings in the pattern. And I love this dress. I feel fantastic when I'm wearing it. Part of it is the fabric I used. I absolutely love this fabric. It's the right weight, the right drape. It has so many things perfect about it, including the colors. So while I was waiting for my patterns to be shipped to me that I had printed, I thought, I need a dress, I want a dress. So I used this fabric from my stash, and I wish I could remember where I got this from, but I love this. So many things about this. Now, when I made the dress according to the pattern measurements and the finished garment measurements, and it was a little too big. And there were a few things that I did not like about it. At first, I thought I was gonna just have a big old fail. But what I did was I took out the pockets. The inseam pockets were just not hanging right. I don't know if it was how I installed them or whether it's just where they were placed on the pattern. And so I took them out. And while I was taking them out, I sized it down along the side of the dress to the next side. I measured this against my pattern piece, and it was the next size down. The other thing I changed about this dress was I took out the belt loops. They were rather large, and I just did not like where they were placed and how they sat, so I just tie my belt where I want it to be. I might go back in later and do some thread belt loops. I'm not sure. I usually don't like them because how they twist in the wash, but I'm just gonna wear this a few times, find out, do I need to have them in order to keep the belt sitting where I want it to sit? But right now I'm just enjoying the dress, and I'm so glad I made it. My husband Charlie is a master swimmer. He's a former college swimmer, and he asked me if I could make him a new practice suit, a drag suit for swimming, and I jumped at the chance. Now, I made him one a few years ago out of fabric that was not swim fabric, and it disintegrated a little bit down the side. So he definitely needed a new drag suit. So drag suit is meant to be a little bit oversized, create drag in the water, you work a little harder, and great for swim practice. He did ask for a couple modifications, and in my defense, this was not supposed to be the finished garment. I was making my own pattern, and he said, hey, that's good enough for me. And he's been wearing this for a few years. So he did ask for a design change in that, please don't make it look like a giant diaper. So what I did was I got some fabric, and he asked me where in my sewing lineup he was, and I told him he's going straight to the top of the sewing priority when the fabric arrives. So I did need to purchase some athletic mesh fabric. It has a little bit of stretch to it. This is the same fabric that is used in American football jerseys. So I bought some of this, and I had some really nice swim fabric in my stash. This is just a little snippet of scraps. Has great bounce and recovery. I got this swim fabric from Amy Fabrics in Pensacola a few years ago, so I was glad to use it. So instead of spending, you can spend $60 to $70 on a good drag suit. So he's happy to have my homemade drag suits that actually lasted longer than the previous, I think, Speedo drag suit we had purchased. So this is his Father's Day gift. Today is Father's Day in the United States. I made him a drag suit. I lined it with the swim fabric, and hopefully he'll get a couple of good years out of this. So what I would do differently next time is on the waistband. Everything else I think worked beautifully, and he has tried it on and it looks pretty good. The waistband, I did a layer of the swim fabric and a layer of this mesh and folded it over. So what that means is where I was attaching it, I had a layer of the mesh and a layer of the swim fabric on the main trunk, and then on the waistband I had the same but folded over, and it was very hard to catch all of these slippery layers, and I did have to go back in and top stitch some of this mesh because I do want it to be durable. Charlie's really happy with his drag suit. It looks very nice on him, and it's gonna be super durable. And I wanted to add that we have purchased drag suits in the past from the big swim companies, and they've not lasted well at all. And that has been my most frequent sewing task for Charlie. I was constantly mending the drag suits until I said, hey, let's try making one for you. The orange one lasted close to 3 years, I think. Never had to mend it, and I'm hoping he gets a lot of wear out of his new one. The only other project I've worked on this week is for my Think Pink Sewscription Box, and that's this beautiful Lady McElroy cotton lawn. I am making the Mave skirt. I have it all cut out. I've overlocked my pockets, and I think it's going to come together really quickly now. We're having my parents over for dinner, and I'm not sure if I'll get it finished today, but if I don't finish it today, I will finish it tomorrow. Let's talk fabric. I recently received my purchases from Minerva. Most of these are super practical. A couple of them were to test out the quality, and I got a couple of extras here, 2 that I think qualify as extras. Now, I had my colors done a few months ago, and recently I had Charlie's colors done, and amazingly enough, we are both calm autumns. It was a little surprising because he will tan and brown up like a nut. I'm very fair skinned, but we're definitely both calm autumns. And I got some fabric for Charlie in here as well. The first fabric I'm going to share with you is the Minerva core range of their cotton lawn. I wanted to test out the quality of this. It's very inexpensive, and I thought, let me just get one piece to see what this is like and whether I would use it for garments for me. So this is a good color for me. It's a little bit sheer. I'm going to make myself a top out of this and see how I feel about it. The texture of it feels really nice for the price. I forget what I paid. I'll look it up and I'll put it down here. But I thought this was a good value. These next few items were also so I could test out the quality of the Minerva core range. And while I was buying these fabrics, Minerva was having a 25% off sale if you're a craft club member. I am a craft club member. I find that it's well worth the price. It's 20 pounds per year, and you get the additional discount. So I got 25% off of all of these fabrics. I wanted to get some solid colors in the rayon challis, and I purchased 3 lots of this, and I got 4 meters so that I could make multiple things. These are all colors that are in my color range on my color card. And they were $5.99 in pounds per meter. Now, when you convert it to US dollars and include the 25% discount, it brought it to $5.77 per meter. And when you look at per meter compared to per yard, and if I were to buy this in the US, I would be paying 8% tax on this. So it was a really good price. And I felt confident enough to buy 4 meters at a time at that price. And I have to say, I'm really happy with the quality. So at this price, I can use it for a wearable muslin and for finished garments. This will probably be the first I sew out of this batch of fabric from Minerva and make it into a top. I think it pairs really nicely with this Lady McElroy. So this first one is a Minerva exclusive. I was thinking maybe of doing the Hope dress in this, but having made the river curve, I think that might also be a good option for this viscose challis. I love this fabric. I, of course, initially, my mind immediately went to dress, but I'm thinking maybe I'll wait and see how Emma from So Do It Emma's saguaro set comes out and what hints she might have for me. But I think this might make a nice saguaro set. Let me know, what would you make with this fabric? This next fabric is an Atelier Burnett viscose, and this is so fabulous. It is everything that you've heard about. And I thought while Minerva was having a 25% off sale, I would pick some of this up, and I'm so incredibly happy with this. I think this will be more of a fall autumn sewing project, but I decided I'd pick it up while it was on sale because there was no way I was going to fall out of love with this. These next two fabrics are definitely practical picks, and they are also going to be for the fall or winter. I got 2 waffle knits. This one's in a kind of rose, dusky rose color, and I thought I would make myself a long sleeve pullover, something cozy in this. I also purchased 4 meters in the khaki color web. So I want to get him a nice fitting shirt that I can repeat over and over again. If you have any recommendations, I'd love to hear your recommendations. I was thinking of the Green Style Hudson tee or the Jackson pullover. I'm not too sure how that will work because he is slim and that's a little bit of a looser shape, but I thought I might be able to play with the sizing to where I can get the length I want and a more tapered fitted look. If you've got any advice or ideas, hit me up in the conversation area below. I do appreciate it. I'd love to know what you're working on and what is your favorite fabric to sew with. I think right now rayon challis is my favorite to wear and pretty close to my favorite to sew with as long as it's not too shifty. Definitely athletic mesh and swimwear is not my favorite fabric to sew with. What are you enjoying sewing? I am not going to be buying any more fabric for a while. I filled out the staples I was missing and a few that my friend Madi from Madi Sews would consider frosting. They're a little bit extra and are going to make some really fun outfits for me. Have a wonderful week of sewing. This is what YouTube thinks you'd like to watch next.